Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh, in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, call Halal, Kabad, Wata Parath, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, which is the Heavenly Father's name, and the name of His Son, our Savior, and peace be upon the house of David, which is the elect, that Yahweh Shai is raising up in these last days, man. And you're seeing it all throughout the four corners of the earth, the elect of Israel, men, women, and children, but specifically men, are waking up throughout the four corners of the earth, man. Whether they look like so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, whether they look like, so-called white people, Chinese, the elect is scattered, man. But it's beautiful times that we're living in, and I was just, meditating, just thinking about, I had shared something to the brothers, in my camp, about something that's going on with my my place of employment right now, man. And I work kind of like in the financial industry. I'm not gonna get too much in details because we got scoffers that try to find out your information and try to basically put more afflictions on you. But I will say that the company that I work for, its competitor basically dropped out of the race, and it's only just us and another company. And basically, we affect we affect the stock market, man. All right. And so our competitor dropped out, like 2 weeks ago, or beginning of this year, somewhere early this year. We just found out 2 weeks ago, I should say, but they dropped out in the beginning of this year. But anyway, yesterday I found out, today I found out that my company is basically trying to break off my department to make it its own entity, just in case the main corporation goes under. The federal government is telling our company to basically make my department its own entity, so that it could be sold to another country. And so like it'd be sold to another corporation, whether it be here in America or here in Babylon. Here in America or in another country throughout the world. But with that being said, man, I just wanted to say, man, that we at the end, man. And in this stock market, this economy is really on its last leg, man. It's really hanging on by a thread. Like I always like to compare, this system, this beast system, like that board game, Jenga, or not really a board game, but like that game Jenga, where you got to move the blocks out of the tower, and try not to make it drop, and then eventually, you move the wrong block, the whole thing is going to collapse, and that's exactly what America is right now, man. The Lord is having, the workings in the spirit realm manifested into the physical, and we're seeing, the downfall of this place, man. And with that, we got to continue to keep watching, man. Everything that's happening in this place, it's going according to the prophecies, man. And it's our job, as Lord willing, being the prophets of the Lord, to continue to watch, okay? Because like the scripture says in Zephaniah, I believe 1 and 12, it says, woe to the men who settled on their leads. All right, when you look up that word leads, it basically means a watchtower. All right, so we can't settle on our watchtower. We got to constantly be paying attention to what's going on, man, from the financial to the military, to the social, how people are interacting socially, to what people are even talking about, man. The conversation here in Babylon, the whole conversation, man, it doesn't change, man. The discourse is either about, chaos, it's either about race riots, racial tensions, it's either about military buildup, with Russia or China, okay, or it's either about, economic struggle, economic stresses, man. You just had JCPenney's just put out that they're going to close 140 stores throughout the United States, man, which is going to affect, I think they said it's about 15,000 employees. That's 15,000 people that's about to be out of a job, man. you know, and you know, JCPenney's was like, you know, a staple in, you know, the retail industry growing up. You know, for me, man, growing up, I remember my parents used to take me shopping at JCPenney's all the time, you know, during back to school season, man. But here it is now, you know, they're trying to cut costs. All right, you got other companies that's in the financial world that are trying to find ways to cut costs. All right, so this place, America, man, it's being imploded, man. And, you know, you not to forget to mention, you know, the racial tensions, you know, with this guy Donald Trump, man, that's in office, which he's supposed to be doing an address to the Congress, you know, tonight, man. Lord willing, we see what he's talking about. But, you know, that's the things that we're supposed to be paying attention to, man. You know, the times we're at is at hand, man. Yahweh Shai told us what? To watch, therefore, and pray always. You know, unless you fall into temptation, okay? We're not supposed to be caught up into the cares of this world, not to be caught up into surfeiting, you know, drunkenness, banqueting. You know, we're supposed to be paying attention to what's happening, you know, pursuant to prophecy, man, because we want to get the hell up out of this place, man. You know, we want to get the kingdom of heaven. We want this place to be destroyed, man. You know, this place don't got nothing to offer for us, man. We're so far, our minds are so far out of this place, man. It's just like we're just anticipating day after day for our change to come, man. Even these bodies are whack as hell, man. You know, I'm not really gonna pull any scriptures, you know. I'm just gonna just drive and speak, you know, as the Spirit permits. But, you know, like I said, man, the times that we're at, man, it's beautiful, you know, and it's also should put the fear of the Most High in you, because we're literally watching what we're talking about come to pass, and we know that there's only a certain group of people that is going to survive this, man, which is the elect, you know. And the only thing we can do is just pray and hope and have faith that we are part of that elect. But we got to also put in work to earn that, man. All right, we got to put in this work. We got to, like I said, man, we got to continue to stay on our watchtower, man, because Yahweh Shai said in Luke, I believe the 12th chapter, that, you know, blessed is the man, blessed is the servant that is that when the Lord comes back, he find him doing, you know, find him watching, basically, find him doing work, you know, find him you know, waiting for him to come back. You know, also in Matthew the 25th chapter, it talks about, you know, the foolish virgins and the 5 foolish virgins and the 5 wise virgins, man. You know, like I said before in a previous sit down there, they both were virgins. You know, they both knew that the Lord was coming back, but 5 was wise about it and 5 was foolish, man. You know, you don't want to be that foolish virgin, you know, speaking to the men, you know, and the women that know what this truth, you know this is the truth, know that we in these last days. You don't want to be them foolish virgins that, you know, ain't paying attention, man, that's being slothful, man, that think that your Lord is delaying his coming. You know, Paul said what? Romans 13:11, that our salvation is nearer than when we believe, man. You know, and Paul wrote that over 2,000 years ago, but everything written for in the past was written for our learning, man, because this is the generation that our salvation is nearer than when we believe, man. You know, you got the chip, the mark of the beast is being spoke about almost every day, man. But once again, you got to be watching, you know, you got to be watching for these things. These people in this, and speaking especially Israelites, you know, these 2/3 Jakes, they ain't watching for the mark of the beast, man. You know, they ain't watching for the race riots. Peter asked Yahweh Shai, what is the signs of the end times? That's the mentality that we supposed to be in, man. What are the signs? Okay, measure the times diligently within itself, man. We in this world, but we're not of this world, man. This world ain't paying attention. That's why Yahweh Shai said he's gonna come like a thief in the night, man. Every day we wake up paying attention to the news, man. Talking about the sincere man out there. We paying attention to the news. We paying attention to, you know, what's going on pertaining to prophecy. They're linking it back up to the scriptures, man. That's the mentality that you're supposed to be in, man. Because Yahweh Shai, if Yahweh Shai is in you, Yahweh Shai said what? That the day of vengeance is in his heart, man. So the day of vengeance is in his mind. So if Yahweh Shai is in you, then that's going to be in your mind. And the day of vengeance is the day that Yahweh Shai is told by Yahweh to come back, man, to redeem his people and to put his enemies under his foot, man. Starting with the so-called white man, these elites, man, the Satan, all right? Satan himself, the devil himself, man, all right? The day of vengeance, and getting vengeance on 2/3 of Israel, who told these devils to crucify, man, you know? But what? Scripture says that as in the days of Noah, so shall the day the Son of Man be. And we're in the exact same thing, man. And everybody is all about partying, drinking, bullshitting, laughing, having a good time, turning up, being a slave Monday through Friday. On Saturday, turning up and being an adulteress or an adulterer, being on drugs, you know, being drunkard, you know, and then on Sunday, if you Jakes go to church, so-called church anymore, you know, they trying to act like they love the Lord with their mouth, but their heart is far from Him, man. You know, but what, us sincere men, we gotta stay in the spirit, man. You know, we gotta stay in the spirit and stay watching, because Yahweh Shai is showing these signs, man, and we want to be a part of that number that gets to be, as Edris said, commended for standing so stiffly for the name of Yahweh Shai, man. All right, and that entails about watching, man. Don't settle on your leads, okay? Talking to men that's in this truth, because you got men that's in this truth that are settling, man. That say what? That believe that their Lord delayeth is coming. All right, that say the Lord won't do good or evil. All right, guess what, man? The Lord is about to show you how much evil He's about to bring on this place, man. Okay, and you don't want to be on the side of being unawares, man. You want to be on the side of being a steady watchman, because the Lord is going to reward those faithful watchmen. All right, so you know, with that, Lord willing, you know, this was edifying to the elect. Call Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, and Shalom.